And Kyle, this shapes up to be a great one. Kelly Walsh dominated their semifinal last night. Rock Springs escaped with a heck of a victory. Still left wondering what the heck Gillette did at the end of regulation last night. But Rock Springs is here. Kelly Walsh is here. The Trojans won 2 of the 3 matchups. Rock Springs beat them by 20 at their place. Then at the end of the regular season, Kelly Walsh repaid it with a 21-point win, and then they beat them by 20-plus at regionals last week.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how the conflicting styles, we talked about it last night also coming into this, but Rock Springs wants to get up and down and score at Kelly Walsh on the other side. They want to do the complete opposite. They want to sit in their half-court set. They want to run offense, get a good look at the basket, and score it. Got to remember also that Kelly Walsh down Jackson Hiatt in that game that they lost as well, correct?
That is true. He was out, I believe, with mono or something along those lines. Now, Kelly Walsh is a defensive-oriented and minded team. They give up just 45 a game, but they score 61 a game. They're very efficient. And talking about their big players, the guys to watch, well, really, you got to look at Jackson Hiatt. Might be their best all-around guy, but he's not their leading scorer. He does lead them in rebounding at 7.1 per game. Sam Marsh, number 5. He's had kind of an off-state tournament, quiet so far. We'll see if he can get things rolling. He's their leading scorer at 15 a game. And then Manny and Tula, number 4, and Cameron Carter, number 3, are also double-figure scorers in the starting lineup. Now, for Rock Springs, it's kind of, I don't want to say a two-man show, but it's about 2 key guys. Trevor Hautala, the second leading scorer in 4A, number 20. The guard averages 21 a game, leads them at 4 assists and 3.5 steals per game. And then the big guy who averages a double-double, 13 points, 11.5 rebounds, 3 blocks a game, Kelby Kramer, number 33.
Yeah, and Hautala, you talk about being a scorer, and he was the scorer for them last night when it mattered most, as he didn't stray from his game and took the ball to the basket, scored the game-winning basket with a little help from Gillette at the end there.
With a little Olay defense. He got it with 9 seconds to go, and then they kind of froze and went the other direction and didn't get it to go. But I tell you what, though, the freshman Cale Mickelson, he didn't shoot the ball well last night, but he did have a double-double. And I thought Nick McMurtry was huge, stepped up last night in the win for Rock Springs. And so with that, those are 2 other guys, Mickelson, number 2, and McMurtry, number 5, also to watch tonight for the Rock Springs Tigers. Again, Rock Springs has lost 2 of the 3. They are the leading 4A scoring team at 66 a game, but they also give up 60 a game. So if the defensive-minded Trojans went out, this could be their year. But again, one of these teams is going to end a long drought, Kyle.
And you mentioned they got to give up. What Kelly Walsh gives up, they give up not much over 40, where Rock Springs scores 66. Something's got to give. Where's the median going to be between those 2 averages? And you mentioned long droughts for both teams ending. We already seen one long drought end tonight in 3A boys as Riverton wins their first ever. So a drought that's gone back to the beginning of Riverton High School playing basketball. So another long drought ends tonight. We've kind of seen some long droughts end as Worland ended a long drought last year when they won the 3A boys title as well.
Let's talk about the starting lineups. They are going through here at the Event Center and they're going to alternate starting lineups. First for the visiting Tigers in the orange uniforms, trimmed in black and white. Here's the freshman, number 2, Cale Mickelson. Mickelson on the season, averaging 9.5 points, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists per game. Then you got number 2, Cameron Carter. Carter averages 10.3 points, 3.1 assists to lead Kelly Walsh. The other starter at guard is Brady Arnoldi for Rock Springs. And he averages 4.5 points, just under 2 rebounds per game. Manny and Tula, number 4, a senior, 11.8 points, 5 rebounds per game. He's number 4 in white. Now to the other side, Nick McMurtry, the junior forward, averaging 7 points and 3.5 rebounds per game, but I think he doubled his scoring average last night in the semifinal win. Then it's Sam Marsh, the leading scorer, number 5, 15.2 points, 5 rebounds, 1.7 assists per game. And you got Trevor Hautala, number 20 in orange, doing a little intro, and he's their leading scorer, 21.2, also leads them in assists and steals. For the Trojans, number 11, Jackson Hiatt, 10.4 points, 7.1 rebounds, and about a block a game. The big guy, Kelby Kramer, averages a double-double, only guy in 4A to do it, 13 points, 11.5 rebounds per game. And finally, Joel Struby, big guy in the middle, 4.7 points, 5 rebounds per game. Keys tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, I think, as we talked about already, we've kind of hit on some of what I think are the keys, but just, if Rock Springs could control the big man down low, Kelly Walsh could control the big man down low, And also how the freshman point guard for the Rock Springs Tigers, I don't know if you necessarily call him a point guard. He doesn't bring it up all the time, but he's one of the two. But if he can repeat that performance on yet a bigger stage than what he had too last night, and then the senior leadership for Kelly Walsh on the other side, the experience.
Kramer easily wins the tip. We're underway. Rock Springs in the orange. Down low to Kramer. Posted up on Struby. Turn. Hook shot up. Left it airballed. Right to Marsh. Not necessarily the way you want to start. Marsh and Kelly Walsh attack zone to my right. And here's Carter, the point guard, the senior. Been starting at point for 3 seasons. Now to Marsh. Bottom left corner of your screen. As Rock Springs missed their first bucket. Down low, Struby. Peels out to Antula. Patience shown by Antula. Crossing over, driving baseline. Backs up and kicks to Carter. Now here come the Rock Springs Tigers. Trying to dig in defensively. Hiatt with a scoop. Over the big guy and in. Jackson Hiatt. Well, we talked about him in the intro, and, well, here you go. Appropriately, he scores the first points of the game. Kelly Walsh got out to an 18-4 lead in their semifinal. Beautiful inside-out dribble. Hautala with a running big shots.
Hautala, you mentioned one of the top 2 scorers in the state. Shows how he's got many ways. Mostly a driver more than a shooter, I think, though, from what I seen last night for Hautala.
Here's Marsh. Bang! A long 2. His first bucket of the day, and that's a better start than he's had any of the previous 2 games here at the state tournament. Mickelson directing traffic, calls out a set play. Now they kick it to Hautala in the corner, looking down low, falls down and just travel with it. Yeah, he just lost his footing driving baseline there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, as he went past the defender, if he caught a stray foot out there and tripped, or like you say, maybe just slipped and down to the hardwood. But either way, it's a turnover.
4.4-2 on your board. 6.5 left in the first, so we played 90 seconds or so. A little under that, now a little over that, I should say. Marsh dribbled now high, now to Carter. Carter, top left corner of your screen with the dribble. Now kicks to Marsh, kind of bottom left of your screen. Probing on Hautala, gets by him, into the big guy, bounces to Struby, laid up, blocked out of there, and the rebound to Kramer. Throws ahead to Arnoldi. Arnoldi and Rock Springs, will they break? They hit McMurtry for 3, high arc, banks it in. Holy cow.
I'm guessing he didn't call bank there as he was busy picking himself up off the floor, but I think he put a little extra oomph to try to get at that on the challenge, and he had enough to get it to bank in.
Here's Carter. Stops. Dumps it top of your screen to Marsh for 3. No good off the iron, and the rebound comes down to Mickelson, who grabbed that last one. Here is Rock Springs with that 5-4 lead. Now Hautala drives in, dumps it to McMurtry, jumper, that's no good. Rebound to Hiatt, off the miss for Rock Springs. Coming in the other way, Marsh controls, bottom of the screen, tries to blow by into the big guy. They're gonna get a foul on Hautala, and if you force the action there, that's gonna be key tonight. Because I believe if he gets into foul trouble, they're in trouble. Either he or Kramer, or both. That'd be even worse. Double screen, 3 in the corner. Marsh rises, fires. No good. Rebound. Kramer up high yet again. Outlet pass stolen away. Cross court, Antula fakes the 3. Drives to the baseline. Almost knocked away. Double team. Shovels up to Struby. Back to Antula. Wide open for 3. Measures. Too strong. Rebound off the missed 3. Going to be pushed out of there by Hautala. Hautala the other way. Crosses over down the lane. Hanger. No good, but a foul on the reach in.
At first, the way Mickelson, or not rather Kramer was headed down the court there, I thought maybe that was going to be alley-oop time, but he kind of slowed up to let Hautala take it, and then Hautala will go to the line.
Foul on Cameron Carter, his first personal for Kelly Walsh. So we've played just over 3 minutes. Hautala first free throw on the way. That is good. Good to see him. He kind of short-armed and front-rimmed a few free throws earlier in the tournament. And right now, a 6-4 lead for Rock Springs over Kelly Walsh. Second one, that's off the back of the iron. Rebound comes down to Jackson Hiatt, their leading rebounder, his second already in the game. This is Marsh, hands off to the point guard Carter. Picked up by the freshman. Down bottom of your screen, Antula. Antula up top, left of your screen, Hiatt. Top of your screen to Cameron Carter. He can fire a 3, hits a curling Tula, high arc jumper, soft, no good off the rim. Rebound to Hiatt, put it up and in.
Kramer nearly reached up and touched that ball on the way up, but Hiatt had just enough on it to get it past his outstretched arm.
So we're tied for the second time at 6 apiece here at the Casper Event Center. Mickelson drives in, puts up a left-hand pass, Kramer through the paint, somehow gets it to McMurtry, top left corner. Now to Kramer, 12-footer. That's in and out, no good. Rebound smacked around. It's going to go off of Mickelson, out of bounds.
Looked like Kramer had pretty good touch on that shot, but it still had too much pace as it rattled off the heel in the front of the iron before it went out.
Back comes the Kelly Walsh Trojans trying to take the lead back. 6-6 ball game here. Carter crossing over, pull up 15-footer, in and out. Rebound Arnoldi, that's a big rebound from him. As he rips it away from potential defenders. Coming the other way, the Tigers. Hautala drives in, and he got grabbed on the way through by, I think, Marsh. Yep, and that'll be his first.
Another foul on the floor.
Marsh's first personal foul, but already their second team foul. Inbound Hautala, bounced it on the sideline. Good pressure by Struby and Hautala there right in front of the Rock Springs bench.
Yeah, I thought Struby maybe bumped Hautala a little bit there. I think Coach Buell agrees with me, but no foul, just out of bounds, and give it back to the Trojans.
We got so many cords and stuff up here. I'm trying to just find a place for mine to go.
Good luck.
I got it. Here's a shot, no good. I think it was Hiatt. Fight for the rebound. McMurtry comes away with it for Rock Springs. Coming the other way are the Tigers. Tie ball game. Hautala backs off against Holden Eckhart, who is checked in. 3 from NBA. Gone!
He didn't like what I say about being only or mostly a take it to the rim guy as he goes from way downtown that time.
Hautala on the season shooting it at 44% from three-point range. Cashes his first. Carter for 3 at the top. That's the answer.
It's going to be real fun if we're going to do this for the next 3.5 quarters.
9 apiece. We're already tied for the third time tonight. There's a ball knocked away, but it goes right back to Mickelson. Now to Arnoldi. Looks high post area to Kramer. Skip past McMurtry for 3 in the corner. High arc. Well, he skimmed it long. Rebound again, Jackson Hiatt. That's already his 4th rebound in the first quarter. Here's Sam Marsh the other way. Kelly Walsh trying to take the lead back. Marsh shovels it, deflected, but Eckhart gets it. Now to Carter. Carter to Marsh in the corner. Rise and fire. Bang! Boy, we're raining threes all of a sudden here at the Event Center. 12-9. Kelly Walsh back in front in our second lead change. Hautala wants to pull. Jumps it. Knocked out of there. Good hands defensively by Hiatt, and will stay with Rock Springs.
Yeah, Hautala trying to get it to Kramer, but nobody there.
Josh Tapera, senior, big guy at 6'5", will check in. Coach Buell wants a timeout. He's got to come halfway onto the floor towards midcourt. Veteran officiating crew. 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick break with them on the NFHS Network. 12-9, Kelly Walsh here. As we're at the Casper Event Center up top, David Settle, Kyle Johnson with you. 4A Boys Championship. Kelly Walsh leading Rock Springs 12-9. We've had, what, 3 straight threes hit by the teams?
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned it during the live action there, but both teams just coming out firing from downtown.
Well, Kelly Walsh has taken 419 coming into state, 287 for Rock Springs, but when they can get going, they'll take a few more. But they do rely on Kramer inside, of course. Mickelson in the deep left corner, bottom left of your screen. Inbounds to Hautala and deflected out of there. We got Mr. Sweeney, Mr. Quayle, and goodness gracious, I can't think of our Mr. Rigg. Those are our 3 officials, veteran crew. They've worked a lot of state tournament games over the years that I've been around. Inbound right of your screen with the dribble in the middle of the floor. That's Trevor Hautala, one-on-one against Hiatt. That's a tough defender to go over. And here is Arnoldi back to McMurtry, post up on Eckhart, turns, power it up, and it rolls out. Rebound, tipped around. Mickelson saves it. No, he doesn't. Nolan gets the loose ball. Coming the other way. Tim Nolan got that loose ball rebound, and Kelly Walsh finds Hautala. And on the bottom of your screen for a cutting height in the middle. Turn, left hand over the rim and in. 5-point advantage here for the Trojans, the home team on the scoreboard. Mickelson drives, gets a screen, slides around, bank shot too strong. Rebound ripped out of there by Jackson Hiatt, who's just been all over the place in the first quarter. Marsh, spin around, 15-foot fadeaway, good. Oh, he's on tonight. And all of a sudden, it's just exploded from a tie game to 7.
You mentioned Marsh, too, had a slow tournament so far. He's got a big first quarter here with 7.
It's a 10-0 run by Kelly Walsh. They were down 9-6 when Carter hit the three to tie it, and they've kept it going. Hautala double teamed in the corner, bottom left of your screen. That's Mickelson driving baseline, traveling the violation.
One of those a game from each side generally, just by rule.
So again, Kelly Walsh on that 10-0 run. It was 9-6 Rock Springs. We've got just over a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Jackson Hiatt will inbound to Cameron Carter. And Carter back in on that dead ball.
Kramer also back in for Rock Springs.
Yep, and Beltran for the first time tonight, as well as Lineberger. Here's Hiatt, drives by Lineberger, down the lane, slide it up and in again. Jackson Hiatt and Sam Marsh, your two big-time players, need to show up in the big game, and that's exactly what's happening. The run is now 12-0. Here's Hautala against Hiatt. Hautala with a dribble, gets a screen, but he picks it up. Goes down low, and it's knocked away nicely. Good defense by Hautala. Hesitation, beautiful through the middle of the legs. Now to a trailing Carter, steps into a three, bang! Holy cow, timeout Rock Springs, already their second. And what about this run? 15-0 in the last couple minutes for Kelly Walsh out to a 21-9 lead.
And they cannot miss. Everything they're throwing up is going in. Carter with a step-back three. Then he hits one here on a pull-up. And not to mention the work taking it to the rim by the guards of the Kelly Walsh Trojans.
Well, they're 9 of 16 so far in the game, but here's what's interesting. I bet you they probably missed 3-4 shots in there going, so I'm going to say they might be 9 of their last 12, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it other than the ball must, or the rim must be about 3 times the size, looks like, to them, and it's not just one guy. That's the other thing. But they've also, like I say, done a good job of getting close-range shots to complement the three-pointers that they fired up as well.
A very special thanks to the Wyman High School Activities Association and its member schools for their support of the National Federation of State High School Associations and the NFHS Network. Again, this run is now 15-0 as it continues for Kelly Walsh after a 9-6 Rock Springs lead on the three by Hautala.
Tigers have not been able to get anything down low to Kramer as well. He has not scored in the game. Couple of rebounds for the big man.
Mickelson bounces to Hautala. Dribbles are into trouble. Scoops it to Kramer for the jam. Boy, that was just right place, right time, because Hautala almost lost it. Somehow saved it to the big guy. Hiatt to Marsh. Under 10 seconds to go. Carter crosses over. Carter hesitates. Now jumps it to Hautala. Hautala stops. Knocked away. Gets it. Shovels it towards the bucket. And that one's off the top of the backboard. But dang, I thought maybe that one was going to go in the way they're shooting.
I was going to say, if that one went in, you would have known they were unconscious for that matter.
21-11. Trojans lead the Tigers in the 4A Boys Championship on the NFHS Network. We're back here for second quarter action on the NFHS Network. 21-11. Kelly Walsh leads Rock Springs. First quarter shooting. Kelly Walsh 56%. Oh, I forgot to add that last one there by Hautala. And so actually less than that, 53%, 40%, as Hautala carries the basketball to start the second quarter.
Got to watch that on both ends, as Hautala was whistled for one last night. I thought he had one that he carried a little bit there in the first quarter as well, but didn't get whistled for.
So Rock Springs basketball after the turnover. McMurtry, Beltran, Kramer, and Hautala. They lob to Kramer. Turns into Strube, and a nice cut by Mickelson. Laid up and in for his first points of the game. The freshman on the board and trims it to an 8-point Kelly Walsh lead as they attack right side of your screen. That's Carter with the ball. Bottom of your screen to Marsh. Looking for Hiatt. Instead goes right corner of your screen to Hautala. Fakes right, goes left. Now high post to Strube. Well, they dump it to Hiatt, post up, turns, nice leave for Strube, but that ball got tipped out of there by Kramer.
Good thing, too, because Strube was wide open, cutting to the back door there. He was going to have another Kelly Walsh layup.
Just underway in the second quarter, 21-13 as you see. Carter looking for a cutter, instead lobs up to the bottom left corner of your screen to Sam Marsh. Marsh one-on-one, crosses over on Hautala. Pullback 15-footer, that's off the back there. Rebound nicely, Jackson Hiatt. Hiatt, again, another rebound. Carter out high, going to be bumped into, and they're going to call Mickelson on the reach. And that for Cale Mickelson will be his first personal foul. Just the second foul this half on Rock Springs. Both these teams, they're letting them bump a little bit because only 2 fouls apiece. We played 9 minutes of this game. Carter out high. Down the left side, hesitates, shovels to Hautala. Hautala backs off, upper left corner of your screen. One-on-one, crosses over, stops, hands back to Marsh. Down low, Strube on the baseline. Strube kicks out to Hautala, bottom of your screen. Fakes, drives into the paint. Hanger from 12 on the way. Perfect. He is such a solid athlete. I mean, all these guys, really, for both teams, are great athletes on the floor.
First bucket for Hautala after he led the way for Kelly Walsh last night in the semifinals.
Mickelson passes behind Kramer and then taken away in the turnover by Marsh. Shovels ahead, and this is going to be Hiatt and McMurtry diving, and they say last touch by McMurtry as both guys went to the floor, and it will be Kelly Walsh basketball. Coach Buell says, how can that be?
I tend to agree with Coach Buell a little bit because it looked like Hiatt went crashing in when he didn't need to. I thought Rock Springs at first had been the last to touch it, but the officials have the angle, and they say Kelly Walsh basketball.
Marsh shovels to Hautala. Won't take that three against Beltran. Fakes right, goes left. Another hanger from 12 over the big guy. Good again. Soft touch, and Hautala puts him back up a dozen. 55% shooting for Kelly Walsh.
You mentioned just enough hang time and arc on those shots to get over the outstretched arms of the 6'10" player for Rock Springs.
How about Hautala? He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's got to go against Hiatt, but he blows by everybody and lays it in. Said, eat my words, David Settle. Hautala with the bucket. Hautala on the, what do they list him at? Maybe 6 foot. He's 6'1". And that one's kicked out of there by Rock Springs. Hautala does not look 6'1", by the way, to me.
Would have to agree.
But maybe he is. I mean, Marsh is only, what, 6'2"? He's not too much head and shoulders above him.
The better question would be, what do they list the Ladke kid from Gillette? Because anything over 5'8", I think they're lying.
No, they list him, I think, at 5'7", 5'8". Here's Hautala, baseline hanger over Kramer, tried for the block. That's 3 straight buckets for Hautala. Back to a 12-point lead. Here's Arnoldi, who just checked in to Kramer, posts up low light block to the middle, left-hand hook off the back of the iron, rolls in. Both these teams starting to heat it up right now. They're up to 54%, Kelly Walsh shooting 57%. The difference has been some turnovers. 27-17, 5 minutes to go first half. Carter dribbling against Mickelson, now to Eckhart, fade away from 15, in and out, no good. Rebound, and we're gonna get a grab underneath McMurtry, had his arm wrapped around the waist of Joel Strube. Rock Springs Tiger fans don't like it, but when Strube turned his body towards us up here, I could see McMurtry's hand wrapped around his waist, and McMurtry picks up the foul.
First on McMurtry, third Tiger team foul as that Hiatt back into the game. Strube to the bench for Kelly Walsh.
Marsh off the inbound, bottom of your screen, stops. Now to Eckhart. He'll step back, wanted to almost probe. Now Cameron Carter lost it, got deflected. Now pick it up, gets away from Mickelson, who dives for it. Carter down the lane, shovel it up, missed it. Rebound comes down to McMurtry. Now ahead to Mickelson, he'll attack. Now to Arnoldi for 3. That's good. Wow, what a big turn of events that was.
Mickelson holding his right hand as he jogs up and down. I think he got a pretty good floor burn when he dove for that last loose ball.
Here's Marsh, top left corner of your screen. Bottom to Eckhart for 3. That's no good, the answer. And Hautala's over the back of Brady Arnoldi. That'll be the first personal foul on Hautala and their third team foul. So each team's got 3 fouls. It's a 7-point Kelly Walsh lead. And all of a sudden, Rock Springs started to heat up from the field with 57% shooting in this one.
Yeah, and like you said, getting shots up has been more the problem than making shots, as they have had some empty possessions with turnovers. Mickelson, one of those guys that needs to cut back on the turnovers.
Well, they're 4 for 4 shooting in this quarter. McMurtry to Hautala with Hiatt on him. Lob backside. Kramer put it up and he's fouled. Strube will give it. It might not be a bad foul. Don't let him have it point blank. Make him earn it from 15, even though he's not a bad free throw shooter. Kramer on the season shoots it at 72%, which nowadays for a big guy, I said it last night, pretty good, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, you consider what, obviously we're not at the NBA level, but you consider what guys in the NBA that are big guys do free throw shooting wise, and there's a lot of teams that would kill to have that 72%. As the first one goes down for Kramer.
Down to a 6-point Kelly Walsh lead. So after a great start by Kelly Walsh, Rock Springs fighting their way back in it. One more coming. It's up and it's good. 2 for 2 for Kramer. And Hautala's going to come in and take out Holden Eckhart. So you've got the starters back in the floor for Kelly Walsh and the starters on the floor for Rock Springs. Hey, both teams expected a battle. No doubt about that. Struby to Carter in backcourt. Man-to-man defense here by Rock Springs. Carter out near the jump circle. Spins away and shovels a pass. Bottom of your screen, here's Marsh. Marsh picked up by Hautala. Marsh drives to the middle. Stops. Step through. Puts up a tough shot and rattles home. Sam Marsh, first bucket of the second quarter. Here comes Hautala, picked up by Hiatt. It's tough to fire over a guy who's 6'4" with the wingspan of Hiatt. Now Kramer hooks it up, off the glass, spins out. Rebound to Struby. That's their first miss of the second quarter. Coming the other way, Hiatt leads from Marsh, top of the key, rise and fire from NBA. Bang!
Marsh feeling it, the future Black Hills State football player. Doing it on the hardwood here.
He's got a dozen here in the first half. Back to a 10-point lead. Mickelson drives baseline, jumps it to Kramer. Skip pass is going to be intercepted nicely by Carter. They kind of baited that one, I think. And Carter picks it off. Carter played a little bit of football before stopping after his sophomore year and just concentrating on basketball. Marsh spins, double clutch off Kramer. No good. Rebound, McMurtry does save it, they say. Wow. Coming the other way, here's the Tigers, three by Hautala. He's got 11. So your big stars really shining brightly. 7-point. Kelly Walsh lead with 2.5 to play in the first half. Carter crosses over. Now backs off, kicks to Hautala, top of your screen. Picked up by Brady Arnoldi. Looking, drives baseline. Hautala power it up, no. Rebound fought for. And back to Hautala, soft jumper, no good. Rebound, Kramer finally gets it.
You mentioned it a bit ago, they're letting him play just by the number of fouls, and there looked like quite a bit of contact down low, that time with no whistle.
As Kramer got the rebound, they kick it, and we're going to get no shot. As Kramer went for the jam, missed it, but we're going to get a foul on the pass by Hautala to Kramer. This is going to be on Struby, and that's his second. Here comes Holden Eckhart replacing Sam Marsh. Or no, Marsh is going to have to stay on the floor now as Struby is going to have to come out with 2 fouls. Marsh, I think, wanted a breather. He's sucking wind a little bit here.
Kramer gets a breather for Rock Springs.
They bring in 24, Shane Ramsey. Hautala with Hautala on him. Rise and fire from 30. No good. Long rebound to Mickelson, though. Down the lane, put it up, and it rolls off. And the rebound comes down to Jackson Hiatt. Hiatt just piling up these rebounds here. Here's Carter to the rim, lay it up and in, and what a difference that is with a short guard, but he takes it all the way to the rim with no big guy there to protect. Here's underneath, bang it up and in, McMurtry. He just kind of pinned Eckhart too low and turned and just spun and got the bucket, his second of the day, and a foul on Holden Eckhart.
McMurtry lucky to catch that pass. It was almost stolen away. Kelly Walsh had a hand on it through the paint, but he just stuck his hand out there, was strong enough to get it, and then, as you mentioned, pin the defender and score it.
7-point Kelly Walsh lead. Foul on Eckhart, his first, but that's the 16th foul on the Trojans. McMurtry, 1 free throw coming right here. It's good. So 3-point play the old-fashioned way. 6 for McMurtry tonight, 6-point lead. Kelly Walsh had a 10-point lead, but at the end of the first, but all of a sudden the Tigers have outscored Kelly Walsh by 4, 17-13 so far. We got a minute and a half left here in the first half. Tim Nolan's checked in to replace Cameron Carter. Marsh takes over the ball handling duties now to Nolan. Upper left corner of your screen, picks it up after a dribble. Needs an outlet and hands to Hautala to his left. Still in that left corner of your screen. One-on-one against Arnoldi. Drives by, jumps it to Marsh. Rise and fire, he's out of bounds. He hit the shot, but he's out of bounds.
We haven't seen that as much this year as we have in years past with the wider boundary around the Casper Event Center floor, but we've seen a couple the last couple days.
And they darkened it in. It used to be a lighter color, so it would really fool you. And now we're going to get an illegal screen inside. Who is this going to go against? Turnover on Rock Springs, excuse me. And I need the number. Are they going to call it on Kramer?
It looked like 2 threes to me.
Yep, that's his first. On the illegal screen, just moved right at the last second to kind of ward off the defender and get his man free, but doesn't help out his teammate there.
1 foul with a minute left in the first half, not a big deal, but you can't pick a cheap one up now in the last 60 seconds.
Eckhart with 50 seconds in the corner to Hiatt. Hiatt fakes, drives baseline, he traveled with it, and they give it back on the turnover. 47 seconds to go. McMurtry will inbound in backcourt. Coach Buell saying something to he and Cale Mickelson. Wearing the vest. That's got to be hot. Here's McMurtry dribbling at the top. Now to Hautala. Hautala drives in, floats it to Kramer, over him, but Mickelson with a loose ball, blocked out of there by Hiatt. Wow. The Tigers will keep it in the zone to my left, trying to cut into a 6-point Kelly Walsh lead with 31 seconds left. Hautala to McMurtry. McMurtry drives, jumps it to Kramer, catches, put it up, too strong. Rebound gathered in by Carter.
Hautala stood in the far corner with his hand in the air wide open. Obviously, you can't always see that when you're focused on trying to take it to the cup.
Carter back in for Nolan here, directing traffic. Mickelson on him, backs away from the count. He saw the ref started out of the corner of his eye. Jump pass to Hautala. Fakes left, this time goes right, pull up from 12, banks it, no good. Spins it around and it's knocked out of bounds by Hiatt.
That one couldn't have got much further down and came back out, I don't think, for Kelly Walsh.
3 seconds to go. Now you just don't want to get burnt here. They're going to try and set a screen. Hautala gets the inbound, and that could be a moving screen. 3-point heave at the buzzer, almost banked in from midcourt by Trevor Hautala. And we've got a 6-point dandy of a... So that's Carter and Tula, Marsh, Hiatt, and Strube for Kelly Walsh. And down at the bottom of your screen, that is McMurtry. Mickelson out there with Hautala, Kramer, and Arnoldi. Switch ends of the floor. Looking into the big guy. Instead, Hautala out high. Picked up by Hiatt. Trevor Hautala, 11 points at the break. Hesitates down the left side. Blocked by Hiatt. Rebound by Hiatt. Oh, that might have been a little bit of a force right there, but Jackson Hiatt continues to eat up the defensive glass. Here's a shot, no good. Is that a 3?
No, that was a 2 from about 15 feet on the angle, but Kramer came flying out to alter it that time.
Mickelson got the rebound, and Rock Springs. McMurtry driving baseline, might have taken an extra step. Now to Kramer in the paint. Kramer put it up, no good, but a foul. 3 guys around him, take your pick of whom. Strube or Hiatt. It's going to be 2 shots for Kramer. It's going to be Jackson Hiatt. That'll be his first personal foul of the day.
That last Kelly Walsh possession, the first time that they've shot over Kramer, and he's actually been able to alter the shot. We've seen Kramer getting out in the first half, but Kelly Walsh was still able to just have enough but keep it online. That time they were not able to.
Kramer's 2 for 2 at the stripe so far tonight. He's got 1 coming right now, and that one's good. So the big guy has 7 points tonight, cuts it to a 5-point Kelly Walsh lead. Just into the second half. We've played 40 seconds. On the way, that's good, 2 for 2. So he's 4 for 4 from the line tonight. Back to a 4-point lead. Strube to Hiatt. Hiatt almost traveled, by the way, and now dishes to Cam Carter. Cameron, the senior point guard. Top right corner of your screen into the forecourt to my left. Kicks to Hiatt. Right of your screen, back to Carter. Carter off a double screen. Now looking, doesn't see Hiatt wide open underneath. Now pulls for 3 in the wing. God! Boy, I think he was just kind of measuring, but he had Hiatt open for a moment. Didn't find him, and luckily he makes that big 3.
Carter just sending him through pure, too. No rim at all.
He can shoot with the best of them. Lob down low. Kramer going to be bumped into, and that'll be a push foul on Strube. That's his 3rd. How quickly do we get Holden Eckhart off the bench? Right now.
Strube, I was watching, too. That's the luxury of being the color guy. You don't always have to watch the ball. He and Kramer were battling pretty good there for position down on that last Rock Springs possession, as you mentioned. Now to the bench goes Strube.
Inbound McMurtry, lob down low, caught by Kramer, put it up, and it rolls in.
Kind of a two-handed flip towards the basket for Kramer.
Almost rolled out, but a 5-point lead for Kelly Walsh here. Mickelson flashes at Carter, gets away from him, now to Hiatt. Back to Carter. Carter off a double screen. They do switch. Now down low, Hiatt turn, bang it up and in. Boy, well, they saw something there, and they went right back to it as Carter hit the 3 last time, but down to Hiatt this time.
Got to get rid of it quick if you're Hiatt, and he did before Kramer could get over there and get hands on it.
Hautala didn't see Kramer wide open, rolling to the rim. Finds McMurtry bottom of the screen. McMurtry drives in, dishes to Kramer, hands back Hautala, fakes that long 3, jumps in the corner. Arnoldi for 3, got it again. That's his second 3 of the day, and that's just bonus points if you're the Tigers.
That's a tough angle, too, almost on the baseline to where you're shooting against the backboard, but good job by Arnoldi to hit his second from downtown.
He doesn't hit a lot, but he does shoot 46%. They run the same play yet again, this time a little different action off it. Marsh at the top, got it away, can't, he dives on the floor. Kramer and Coach Roden calls timeout. And he says, get over here, I want to talk about our execution.
Marsh kind of had that ball, it looked like maybe on his belly. It didn't look like he had it in his hands at that timeout because it came squirting out from behind his hip as the whistle blew.
Don't forget, you can use your mobile device to log on and watch your favorite high school sporting events wherever you are, whenever you want. Never miss another game with the NFHS Network app. We are high school. David Settle, Kyle Johnson, Saturday at the Casper Event Center, State Championship Day. We've had two great girls games down to the wire, a blowout boys game, and this boys game maybe inching closer to another great finish here. 4-point lead, as you see, Kelly Walsh in front of Rock Springs. Again, Kelly Walsh won 2 of the 3 previous meetings. Carter will take it out. Baseline to the right of the basket, left side of your screen there. Line up 4 across the baseline. Eckhart in the corner, doesn't take the 3, measured for it. Now Carter backs off against Mickelson. Cameron Carter with a dribble out near the jump circle, lost the count, now kicks to Hautala, spins around, and Hautala drives in, reverse it up, and no, but right there for the putback, holding Eckhart. Smart play by Eckhart. Your man is the one helping, crash the glass, and he got the putback. Quickly to Kramer for the dunk.
Kind of lost the big man there down low, did the Kelly Walsh defense.
How do you lose a 6'10" guy?
I don't know, but they just did it.
I know they did. I was just wondering. I always love that. And I'm one of those announcers who makes that comment. How do you lose a 6'10" guy?
Yeah, I agree.
In the corner, Hiatt has it over his head for Hautala. Hautala jumps it out to Eckhart. Ball deflected, taken away in the steal by Mickelson. Mickelson in front of the pack, lay it up and in.
Interesting choice not to go with the backboard there.
A 2-point lead. Well, I think he was thinking if he does go to the backboard, this might get blocked by one of the 2 defenders flashing at him. But calmly, the freshman executed for his second bucket. Hautala posted up baseline, hands back to Marsh, who fumbled it now to Eckhart. Deep 3 at the top, that's short. Eckhart trying to get to the rebound, didn't, and Kramer tipped it. On Kramer to Hautala. Hautala floater, in and out, no good. Rebound, Kramer. Kramer blocked himself in the bottom of the backboard. And then we're going to get a foul underneath as Hiatt got the rebound.
I think it's going to be McMurtry, but obviously Kramer just too far underneath, didn't realize how far underneath he was before he jumped, and then it was too late.
Foul on McMurtry, his second personal foul in this game, and just the first team foul in the Tigers. Staying in the man-to-man, tough to zone this Kelly Walsh team with their shooting. Hautala posted up on Arnoldi, fakes, drives in, stops, spins baseline, and when he spun, we're going to get a foul on the floor. That's going to be a push, I think, on Brady Arnoldi.
Wasn't sure if that was going to be a push or a travel, but
ooh, they got Hautala on the hold. That's big. That's his second foul. Carter inbounds. Ball got tipped, and Hyatt's going to save it. No, he's not. He's over and back, crashes into the media table down below us. Luckily, that radio guy had the water bottles caps on.
Yeah, because they were certainly scattered.
41-39, Tigers with a chance to take their first lead in a long time. McMurtry jumps it to Arnoldi, looking for Kramer, skips it to Mickelson, down low to Kramer, knocked out of his hands, and they're going to get a reach-in on Eckhart and 2 shots.
Well, good thing Kramer has the wingspan he does, because that pass was coming with some pace from Mickelson. It looked like it was headed out of bounds and maybe going to hit the standard, and instead Kramer stuck them long arms out there. The big hands grabbed it and then got himself to the line with a chance to tie.
Kramer, first one on the way, good. Pure net, too. He is now 5 for 5 at the stripe.
Any takers on a miss here?
Probably not.
Oh,
I was hedging my bet. Tied for the 4th time at 41. 3:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. So the Tigers, down by as much as 12 in the first half, have fought their way back even finally. Tiger fans making noise in the background down below. Marsh in the corner. Bounces down low, and Hautala posted up. Fakes the jumper, kicks. Eckhart open for 3 at the top. Got it. Well, Hautala did just enough to draw the attention of Kramer, and that left Eckhart wide open for three. And Holden, who shoots it at 29%, knocked down a big one. Hautala can't get the three away as Hautala on him defensively now instead of Hiatt. Now they switch, double team Hautala. Now Hautala comes back. Now Hautala will get a screen. Now he'll drive in, jumps it. Here's Mickelson for three in the tie. That's in and out, no good. Tipped out of there by Kramer.
Impressive what a guy with a wingspan can do to not commit a foul but still get his hand on the basketball, as he wasn't necessarily over. He just kind of had that arm stuck out there, tipped it out of bounds.
44-41 Kelly Walsh. Jump pass to Eckhart, top right of your screen. Eckhart just holding it, now bottom right to Carter. Cameron Carter directing traffic back to Eckhart. That's a deep three. Oh, I was going to say, wow, that is really deep. Down low, Hiatt posted up on McMurtry. Skip pass, taken away by Mickelson. Boy, that one was read nicely. And Hiatt kind of telegraphed that one. Here's Hautala trying to get around the screen, crosses over. Arnoldi for three in the corner again. Hit the side of the backboard with this one. Rebound down to Eckhart. Coming the other way quickly. Hautala drives, baseline, cutoff, spin, jumps at Eckhart. Back for three at the top. No good. Rebound Kramer. And Rock Springs coming the other way. Hautala, rise and fire from 25. That's no good. Rebound Eckhart, crashed into. No call, and they run after it, and Marsh gets there quicker. Marsh to the bucket. Pull up. Good.
I think Kramer had a shot at that ball, but he kept backpedaling instead of going to it.
46-41, and Kelly Walsh out by 5 after a couple key baskets. We were tied at 41, 5 straight for the Trojans. Here's a handoff. Hautala fakes the three. He'll drive in. Cutoff. Spins. Pivots. McMurtry. He'll drive in. Stops. Might have traveled. Now to Hautala for three over a defender. Airballed it to Marsh. Now they're forcing threes. Marsh quickly the other way. Marsh down the lane. Lost it into defenders, and they say ball out of bounds.
Hautala was limping a little bit after that last shot attempt. He's still kind of gingerly putting weight on one leg more than the other.
Number 11, Braden Rondinelli. Senior checks in.
Arnoldi gets a breather.
All right, Carter wants to inbound. Looking. Will kick in the far corner to Hiatt. Hiatt puts it on the floor, drives in, stops, fakes, up and under nicely, but he left it short. Short-armed it off the glass, and the rebound down to Kramer. Here come the Tigers. Hautala, bottom of your screen. Hesitates. Down the lane to the bucket. Flip it up and in. Boy, you give him a crease, and he will make you pay. First bucket of the second half for Hautala. He's got just 13 tonight right now, but he could have a lot more. Kramer's got 14 right now to lead to lead Rock Springs. 3 guys in doubles for K-Dub. Carter to Hiatt. Back to Cam Carter off a double screen. Backs off. Looks, and now we're going to get a push foul on McMurtry trying to fight through a screen. That's a big one because his third. See, Rock Springs is not very deep, and if you get 1 or 2 guys in foul trouble, you start to get yourself into a tough spot. The good news is nobody's in serious foul trouble except McMurtry. Lob to Eckhart. Beyond the NBA line in the corner. Mickelson stole it, but he's out of bounds, and it will stay with Kelly Walsh and Coach Roden yelling at Holden Eckhart, going, "Where are you throwing that ball? He read you the entire way."
Yeah, I was going to comment on that as well, as Eckhart was getting an earful from his head coach on the far sideline.
Marsh will inbound to Hiatt. Hiatt almost had his pocket picked, but he holds on tight. Now coming to get it is Marsh. Marsh picked up quickly by Trevor Hautala. Goes down the far side by Hautala. Rise and fire from 15. Good. Sam Marsh up to 16 in the game after that bucket. Leads the Trojans out to a 5-point lead. 15 to go in the quarter. Hautala hesitates, drives, spins, cut off by Hautala. Now to Mickelson. Mickelson looking, jumps it to Kramer. Kramer back to Mickelson. Lay it in. Beautiful give and go. Quickly, here's Hiatt. Hiatt at the quarter buzzer for 3 from half court, just short. And we have played 3 quarters in a 3-point game as Kelly Walsh games tonight here at the Casper Event Center on the NFHS Network. David Settle and Kyle Johnson with you. Kelly Walsh basketball to start the 4th. Bottom of your screen, Jackson Hiatt will trigger it in, looking for an inbounds, and goes in forecourt to Struby. Back to Hiatt. Starting 5 out there for both teams here to begin the 4th quarter. Carter, Hautala, Marsh, Hiatt, Struby. Here's Hiatt down the left side, stops, looks, needs an outlet and jumps it way out high near the midcourt stripe. Carter backs off the dribble against Mickelson. Carter crosses over, blows by him, shovels underneath, off of Strube, turn it over. Arnoldi will slow it up. Arnoldi, McMurtry, Hautala, Mickelson, and Kramer. Down low, pass deflected right into the belly of Cam Carter's. McMurtry couldn't handle it. Mickelson with a careless pass turns it over right away.
Two teams trade turnovers, so back to square one in this fourth quarter.
Bottom of your screen, Marsh. 16 in the game to lead all scorers. Hiatt, top right corner to Carter. Now for a curling Marsh. Marsh, step back, 12-footer, good. Boy, he's got the touch tonight, 18. Whoops, wrong column.
That'll get me every once in a while.
There is Kramer down low on Strube. Backs in, hook with the right hand, left it short, rebound, Marsh. Marsh outworked McMurtry.
McMurtry's got to be careful, too. He almost picked up a cheap over-the-back fourth foul there.
So we continue here. 5-point lead. Here's Carter. Carter kicks bottom of the screen to Sam Marsh. Marsh looks up top of the key, right side of your screen to Hiatt. Hiatt doesn't throw it back door, hands off instead of Carter. Carter backs out. Mickelson right there in his hip pocket. Crossover, pull up three over the defender, short. And the rebound comes down to Mickelson. Outlets to Hautala. Hautala foul. Good give foul as it's on the floor. That's actually a smart foul by Cameron Carter.
Carter kind of kicked out on that three-point attempt, looking for a little contact, didn't get it, and then, as you mentioned, makes the heady foul at the other end to avoid the Hautala layup.
Is that Kramer who kicked out that pass? Here's an inbound, knocked away, but we get a reach-in foul. It's going to be on Carter again. Yep, with a hold, his second quick foul. He's got 3 in the game. And a 15 foul on Kelly Walsh. Lob to Kramer in the corner. He'll drive in, crashes in, offensive fouls, and Tula got there, beat him to the spot. He read it too. Good help side D, and boy, he took a lick. But it keeps on ticking.
As they had to pay the price for that, to take that charge.
50-45. And now Rock Springs looks like they might be coming into a little bit of a trapping situation. This is like a 3-1-1 defense. I haven't seen this one. Maybe kind of a 2-2-1. And Tula spins back to Hiatt. Hiatt to Strube. Strube peels around, pivots, hands back to Hiatt. Hiatt will attack Arnoldi down the wing. Kicks to Tula in the corner against the big guy. Now to Carter. Carter down low. Hiatt turns, fakes, spins, up, under. Oh, beauty left hand layup. What a move, Jackson Hiatt.
Just used his pivot foot beautifully there as he had Kramer going every which way but loose, apparently.
Put the big guy on some roller skates, Kyle. 52-45. Here comes Mickelson. Bounces to McMurtry. Then Tula in his hip pocket. Now to Hautala, straight on. Picked up by Hiatt this time. Drives. Peels back with a dribble, and Tula switches off on it. Crossover dribble, Hautala back out high. Kicks to Mickelson, and a push foul underneath on Strube. And away from the ball, if you're Strube, that is indeed his fourth. Why? I mean,
that's how he's picked up his third and his fourth now.
And now that brings Eckhart, who is less beef, off the bench. Timeout by Coach Buell between these two teams that have battled basically 1-2 in the rankings all season long. Mickelson lobs to Hautala, picked up by Antula on this defensive trip. As the Tigers attack zone to my right. Here's Hautala, might have carried it there. Spins, can't get the shot away, kicks to Kramer, high post. Back to Arnoldi, now to Hautala. Wanted to rise and fire almost there. Still got plenty of time, down 7 with 5 minutes to go. Hautala, step back, crossover, drives to the baseline, spins, fade away from 15. That's tough, no good. Rebound, Eckhart crashes in. Nice job by Eckhart to crash in and grab the rebound. And that's his second rebound of the day. Here's Hiatt down the right side, scoop it up, blocked. And then this one's gathered in and saved, and Marsh gets it. Nice block by Kramer, but they kept it alive, and Marsh with the rebound. Here's Carter, breaks the ankles of Mickelson for 3, in and out, no good, and Kramer grabs the rebound and throws ahead to Hautala. Hautala hesitates against Carter, double teamed in that corner, he stepped out of bounds. Right in front of the Tiger bench.
And right in front of the official, too. That was an easy call. That Carter 3 goes down after Mickelson went down before it, and this place might have erupted with Kelly Walsh fans.
Oh my goodness, everybody thought, oh, he broke his ankles on that crossover. Cam throws it quickly to Eckhart in the forecourt. Double team, bounces around to Hiatt. Top right corner of your screen. Eckhart going to give a screen to Hiatt. Now Hiatt, one-on-one against McMurtry. Hiatt will hand off bottom of the screen to Carter. Nobody picks up Carter. Now he'll attack down low, post up. It's Hautala into the paint. Hook up and in. Boy, he didn't even hardly hook it. It was like a one-hand push shot that just splashed down. 54-45. That's how they kind of got free in the first half when he attacked Arnoldi before. Here's Hautala. Dishes for Arnoldi. Almost lost it now to Kramer in the paint. Kramer put up the left hand. Good off the glass. Got the roll.
That one about bounced out again for Kramer, but as you mentioned, just got the roll.
Pressure here by Rock Springs. Hiatt to Carter. Carter throws it to Eckhart in the middle of the floor. Now one dribble. Skips it to Hiatt. Hiatt down the lane. Stops. Fakes. Back to Eckhart. Eckhart. One dribble to Marsh. For three. Short. Didn't need it either. Rebound, Kelby Kramer. Kramer, 16 points tonight. Hautala crossing over. And for Kramer, he's got 8 rebounds as well. Big guy, lob down low in the paint against Hiatt. Put up with the left hand, no good this time, and Eckhart clears the defensive rebound. His second big defensive rebound of the fourth quarter. Carter pushes ahead to Hautala. Hautala will not force this time as Kramer flashed out on him and Coach Roden wants a timeout. I really don't think he liked that shot by Marsh right in front of him. The fourth quarter, Struby checks back in and they're going to give, who went out of the game? Looks like Hiatt a rest here. Jump pass Hautala. Oh boy, that one almost got away from Carter. Back to Carter. Skip over the jump to Marsh. Spacing, such a big thing with a veteran team. Bounce pass Struby. Kicks. Eckhart fakes the shot. Now to Struby. Down the lane, got bumped, and that'll be a foul. They got some fouls to give. They're only 14 fouls this half. That'll be the 5th. And Trevor Hautala just picked up his 3rd. And team foul number 5. Here comes Hiatt back in, and Kramer got a short rest as well as Struby's out. And Lineberger will go out pretty quickly as well.
We've seen it happen last night with Kelly Walsh towards the end of the game. They were able to really spread the floor and have long possessions, and as you said, kind of take the air out of the ball. Looked like maybe not fully running clock there, but definitely in no hurry to shoot, I don't think, with the 7-point lead.
Hiatt skips it to Marsh. Marsh fakes, drives around Hautala, and he just picked up 4 back-to-back fouls in about 6 seconds. And that's the 16th foul on Hautala's 4th personal, and he's got to be really careful.
I think he was just trying to close out there.
Wait a second. They say 3 on the board, but I thought they just announced 3 last time. They must have given the previous one to somebody else. Here's Marsh. Marsh to Hautala. Hautala penetrates, and he lost it on the turnover. Now here comes Hautala. Hautala hesitates, backs off, hesitates again. Fadeaway 3, blocked by Hiatt. Rebound Marsh. Jackson Hiatt with a huge one. Here is Carter, grabbed in backcourt on a push. Carter will shoot free throws on the 17th foul against Rock Springs.
Is that going to be Hautala again?
Nope, McMurtry, and that's 4 on McMurtry for sure. So they must have given the previous foul to somebody else. I thought the announcer said Hautala.
I thought so too, and then after you said that, I was watching, and the official scorer and the PA announcer were talking back and forth, so I kept looking to see if they updated things. They don't even have there. They put Hautala back in the game on the scoreboard. They still have him for 3 up there as well.
Carter misses the front end, though. Rebound down to Mickelson. So a big miss there for Cam Carter. Mickelson with another board. Here's a shot down low. Blocking foul and a bucket. Kramer, boy, he has come up huge in this game. 18, and he's got a chance to keep it perfect at the foul line. Foul on Jackson Hiatt. And for Hiatt, just going to be a 2nd personal, but you're giving up points with the clock stopped. 17 foul on Kelly Walsh. So they did correct it. You were right. They counted the bucket. Foul on Hiatt is 2nd. Both teams in the bonus. Kramer trying to complete the 3-point play. Does not. His first miss of the night. Hautala had it, and a foul. And they're going to get Mickelson, I think, reaching in from behind. Intula gets called for, or gets the rebound, and we're going to walk the other way for Intula to shoot free throws. Mickelson picks up the foul. That's his second. So run down foul count. What do you got up there for Rock Springs? Mickelson's got 2 now. Arnoldi, how many do they have him for? Well,
they don't even have him as being in the game.
Kramer just sat down. How many do they have him?
And they already have him out. And
Hautala 3.
Not of much help right now.
Beltran, they gave that foul to Beltran. That's who it was. He was in that threesome. Front end no good by Intula. Rebound down to Lionberger. So they have missed the front end of 2 1-and-1s. Here's Jesus Beltran, flip it up, no good. A wild flyer there. Pressuring in backcourt, and they lost it, and then it's off of Lionberger. Couldn't quite save it. Wow.
Coach Buell with the aggressive hand clap. Now he's going to send, I thought he was going to send Kramer in. Now he does.
Kramer's back in. So is McMurtry as Lionberger's out. And who else is coming out?
Like
Beltran.
Beltran.
Well, he put up a wild shot there going to the bucket. Under 2 minutes to go. Lob. Back to Hiatt from Eckhart. Double team. Spins. Splits it with a dribble. Kicks to Eckhart in the corner. Skip pass to Marsh. Marsh says, hey, I got it, Cam. Now to Hiatt. Jumps through. Skipped, and that's a trip. They're going to call a blocking foul, and that's on McMurtry, and that's it for him. Coach Buell doesn't like it, and that is number 5 on McMurtry. He's done. 6 points, 5 fouls. Ended up with 3 rebounds tonight for Nick McMurtry. He gets a nice hand. McMurtry, 6 points, 3 rebounds, but fouls out of this basketball game with 1:41 to go, and I think that's big. Beltran, Arnoldi, Mickelson going to have to come up big as the supporting cast for Kramer and Hautala.
Coach Buell still working the official on the far side.
Hautala, 2 points in the entire second half after he had 11 in the first half. So he's about 9 under his average right now. Front end on the way is good by Jackson Hiatt. Finally hit the front end of a 1-and-1, does Kelly Walsh.
Cold shooting from three-point land as well for Hautala, especially. He's thrown up 3, I believe, that have not gone in.
The last one got blocked by Hiatt. One more for Hiatt at the line. That's good. Line drives it in. Well, they're only shooting 50% at the line. They're shooting 49% from the field and 43 from 3. Mickelson drives around, dishes, jump, blocked out of there by Hyatt's long arms. Turnover. Hiatt gets it back from Carter, bottom of your screen, in down the baseline, and then he lost it, turned it over. A great play at one end and a poor play and poor decision at the other end. Wow. High school basketball, there you go.
Exactly. Even at the 4A level, you see it every once in a while.
56-49. Hautala gets the ball back from Mickelson. Intula is on him, man-to-man. Mickelson looks to give a screen. They run and jump at him. Now he crosses over, pulls from 35, airballs it, and it goes out of bounds. And there's another force. He's forced 2 threes, and both have been no good.
And I think, you know, he feels the pressure as him being the leading scorer. He feels like he needs to score, and you mentioned now he's forcing things, and it's not working out.
Tell you what, Kramer's been the better option as Carter's double-teamed and fouled in backcourt. No, they do call the jump ball, and Rock Springs gets the arrow and forces the turnover.
Tigers have had quite a few possessions here down the stretch. They just haven't been able to capitalize with points.
56-49, 4A Boys Championship on the NFHS Network. Hautala takes it out, wants to inbound, and goes to Beltran. Top of your screen, back to Hautala. Fakes the 3, steps to his left off a dribble. That one's no good. Rebound Jackson Hiatt yet again. Hiatt to Marsh. And now getting into the forecourt, Eckhart's going to be grabbed by Brady Arnoldi as everybody's looking up at the clock. 55 seconds left in this one.
2 free throws now on the double bonus, as that's the 10th Rock Springs team foul.
Holden Eckhart on the season, 50% from the foul line. 10th foul though, so it is double bonus. But they have tried their best to miss free throws down the stretch, as Eckhart does just what I said. Got to be ready to rebound here if you're Rock Springs.
Coach Randy Roden gives a few claps. Coach Buell on the other end working the official.
Second one, that's no good as well, but the offensive rebound to Hiatt. Wow. so they can work some more clock, and now the foul going to be given again. Jackson Hiatt darted in for the rebound. Tell you what, and Brady Arnoldi picks up another foul. So he's got 3 fouls now in the basketball game, all here in the last little stretch. Carter, good on the first one. He missed the front end of one earlier. He's got 12. He's got 3 threes, a field goal, and a free throw. Here comes number 22, Justice Reese. And a timeout going to be taken by Kelly Walsh. They're going to use one of their 3 timeouts left, and they will take a 30. Hey, don't forget, the NFHS Network would like to thank our corporate sponsors, Under Armour and Olive Garden, for their support to put your kids on the air. Now, you can actually do that yourself, by the way, because the NFHS Network School Broadcast Program makes it easy for students to produce live video broadcasts by providing the software, tools, and training they need for free. Now schools can produce and distribute high-quality events throughout the year, including regular season sports, graduation, band, cheer events, as well as other school activities. If you are interested in becoming part of the NFHS Network School Broadcast Program, please write to SBP at NFHSnetwork.com. That's SBP at NFHSnetwork.com. NFHSnetwork.com. We are high school. Well, they've opened up an 8-point lead with 50 seconds to go. Rock Springs does have 2 timeouts left. Actually, both teams do, Kyle. And the foul strategy has somewhat paid off.
Yeah, it's paid off in the fact that they've kept Kelly Walsh from scoring and got the ball back, but Rock Springs has not been able to score as they've been stuck on 49 for about the last minute of game clock, and they are obviously going to need some points here and going to have to figure out a way to get Hautala
and
going.
And Jackson Hiatt steals another offensive rebound off a missed free throw. They throw it down low. Going for the jam was Eckhart, or maybe just a power layup, and he gets rocked.
I guess most importantly, first they're going to have to figure out how to get a rebound off a missed free throw.
Kale Mickelson will pick up the foul. That's going to be his fourth personal, So 4 on Mickelson. McMurtry's done. 3 on Hautala, 3 on Arnoldi. Or no, I'm sorry. Not on Arnoldi. I'm typing him in the wrong spot. Arnoldi has just 1 foul in the game. He's going to come out. Kramer's going to come out as Tapera checks in. Also checking in, Braden Rondinelli, with Reese and Hautala out there. And that one's short after making the first, missing the second, and Kelly Walsh with another rebound. And a reach-in foul. So Eckhart hits one finally, then misses one, and Carter gets the rebound. And that's going to probably do it for Rock Springs in a 9-point lead.
Yeah, that's a vicious deal there, vicious cycle, I guess, for nothing else, as they've had 3 in a row on missed second free throw attempts that they were unable to get the rebound on. And
Mickelson just fouled out. Sorry, Kyle.
No, you're good.
6 points in the game. He had 4 of his fouls down the stretch here. Freshman actually did a pretty good job guarding in the half court against Cameron Carter, who can be so tricky to guard with his quickness. Carter gets the ball, and he walks up and toes the mark to our left. 2 shots. First one is good. And he has gone 2 for 4 so far in this last stretch. 10-point Kelly Walsh lead. Carter, 1 more. That's good. 3 for 5. This one's pretty much over right here. Gonna have to get really hot from 3. Hautala gets a screen. They switch off. Carter to the corner. Pull up from 3. That's short off the rim. And Intula's just going to let it go out of bounds.
Coach Buell gets one last word into the official. Not sure what the call he was looking for. And now going to summon Shane Ramsey from the bench, the 6'1 sophomore.
1 of 9 from 3 for Rock Springs in the second half, unofficially. And checking out of the game is going to be Trevor Hautala. His career is going to come to an end. He has his jersey over his head top there at the end of the Tiger bench. Off to my right is Kelly Walsh. Going to drive in, Hiatt to the rim, lay it up with the left hand, and that's a fitting finish if you're Jackson Hiatt for a heck of a night for him. He's got 16 points tonight, and Hiatt also with 12 rebounds. This is Ramsey, put up a shot off the side of the backboard. 1 more rebound for Jackson Hiatt as they come to their feet. He throws it up and hits it, and we're done. ending a 36-year drought. The Kelly Walsh Trojans win their first state title since 1981 as these winning moments, the final moments, brought to you by our friends at Olive Garden here on the NFHS Network. Well, Kelly Walsh, Rock Springs made a charge at him, and after 3 quarters of play, I tell you what, it was a tight ball game, but Kelly Walsh outscores him 14-4 in the 4th quarter, Kyle.
Yeah, Kelly Walsh, or Rock Springs had clawed back after outscoring Kelly Walsh in the middle 2 quarters, but the Trojans do it when it counts there at the end of the ball game.
2 of 11, 18% in the 4th quarter for Rock Springs, and turnovers were an issue as well. And then they couldn't get rebounds on the defensive end when Kelly Walsh did miss free throws.
Yeah, I felt like Rock Springs had their chances at points, but like you said, they just had so many things slip through their fingertips. And I think you see it a lot in these ball games where the Tigers fought and battled to get back even. If I remember right, it was even at 44 apiece, and that was towards the end of the 3rd quarter. So Rock Springs scores 5 points at the end of the 3rd quarter and the entire 4th quarter. That's not going to do it in a 4A state championship game.
Yeah, we only had 2 lead changes and 4 ties. The lead changes were in the first half early, and then Kelly Walsh got going. And Kelly Walsh ends the drought, a 36-year drought. We'll take a break. We'll have the post-game show next on the NFHS Network.